As you can see here, this is a statement if Joy Prime Mobile says state files to discontinue the case against the second and third accused persons in Trica trial. So basically, in some lawyer Oliver Bakafomo Eka say case now the state is persecuting and pushing against Trica and Kamia some more evidence is what the state is doing now is that you be focus energy on all of these three make us seem say weak. We don't know what we are doing. What we have to do now is to narrow the scope. Into you narrow the scope. Let us say you making sure so okay. You be focus our attention on the big fish. The big fish here is Trica. But then the lawyers of Trica, so Ababe Kasa, initially we gave a brief one about them. But what we are going to watch an extensive video, more parties say. In fact, on more courts, three things are clear. Number one, the case against Trica is vague. Two, the state have also failed to make their case. And three, Trica's bill should be now simple because in some koswa a state so they are unable to make their case. Now, the lawyer of Trica in Sema or the Tuja. When we come back, we will dissect more into this particular issue because a victory is coming for Trica.
The court ordered that the state should have 5 weeks. If they have any information or any evidence, they should bring it before the court to justify why it will be. The court will proceed against A2 and A3. The states, in 3 weeks, have realized that they can't find anything against them. So why should their liberty be curtailed? This should not happen to anybody. Even when the person clearly is seen committing a crime, it shouldn't happen to the person. Let alone a person that there's no warrant, there's no order, there's no evidence against to be held in custody. The condescending description, the disrespectful description that law gives to us, all of us, and not just us, including our president, our former president, our chief paramount, they call us what? Subjects and possessions of His Majesty. Which of us is a subject of His Majesty? Which of us is a possession? Are we in slavery? Are we under colonization?
No.
How can such a law be used?
It cannot.
If it is not applicable in US, why is it being applied here?
No. It's unfair.
And you see, the state shouldn't try to be mischievous with us.
Yes.
They are trying to create the impression as if there's a reciprocal thing going on with the former finance minister. The former finance minister is not being held on any extradition issue. Whatever is happening to him there has nothing to do with extradition because the Americans themselves know that law does not apply in their country and they cannot use an unapplicable law to extradite the former finance minister. So why will it be used against our nation? The states, for its own reason and evolution, says that A2 and A3, they do not desire to continue with them and therefore they should be discharged. That is what the state is saying. However, the judge who was assigned to sit on the matter today says that no, she's not going to discharge them, but defer that to the substantive judge. This is most unfortunate. Permit me to say this. The very law that the state is relying on to proceed against A1 is what they call a treaty. There is nothing like a unilateral treaty in this world. All treaties are either bilateral or multilateral. That law, as we speak today, does not apply in the United States of America, and therefore it cannot apply in Ghana. The United States of America has moved on from that law. And that law wasn't even between Ghana and the US. It was between the UK and the US. So if the two of them decide not to use that law again, why is it being used against our nationals? We have already filed an application at the High Court to have all the three of them bailed. And we have also filed additional applications to quash everything that is going on because the illegality cannot be allowed to stand. So on the 20th of January, we'll meet at the High Court. We'll meet High Court complex. No matter what, the liberty of these innocent Ghanaians will be restored.
Abusia, that is the lawyer of a year Abu Trica in our church and Simu say Judge Nia what asem no so no and I say ene watch asem no tintanya one per se will be jai the second accused and the third accused and ma womo ako. But the question is ye jai second any third accuser adentina the first accuser and I'm no so my second and third no or no enka ho bi. And now is it because asem ne ejina or no suntino and I am pesi ye bejai or no and I say is it because the two na ye che or moka Abu Trica hono they are innocent of the crime.
Okay, so this case in an American a case via ocean here it clearly tells you said there are a lot of things was a year about this. And then honestly me seeing says see no insema omode eba mo party said the state want to discontinue the case, which means evidence but one of the things I'm also sensing is that the government in power who said this is actually not looking good for them. See, NDC will not trade anything that will make them lose home support.
Okay.
Because if there's anything you've seen, you who's a youth no between the ages of 22 to 35, they carry the country. Okay, say Emra E-Levy Ebayi, look at Ghana for a Kasaye. Do you know say the 2024 elections no? NDC really didn't do any campaign. What did you even see NDC flyer? They just sat down. Omunya opportunity bia Ghana for monshare bibi betting tax, bibi E-Levy, bibi no. Ye betting tax no because Ghana for boys is bet pa. Sisi a bet no di 400 C's and I trap in the 400 C's me to 40 Ghana. Ye obi de ne dadre no. Ye can GDP any a year IMF gold and fan home don't tax my bet, that be all. In the NDC are buying through His Excellency John Dramani, but when we said no, baby I didn't call a butchika case no, yen with fearsem, yen tin fear.
Okay.
Yen tin fear because me tracking me who said Captain Smart spoke against it. Or him I will any angel. This in fact a lot of people spoke against it. A global near Timmy. To the extent say a year narcotics control or more head. Etimi ejina Abuchika so catcher say, tell me what to do. A Brian name said per the law no Ochiobia. You saw the person about the Miranda rights. Even if the person knows what does not know. Say, oh, Minya Bema, you have a right to remain silent. Now we'll be saying Nipa catch us. I don't want to speak now unless my lawyers is here. What's our catching Nipa and say, even if your lawyers is here, I have every right to ask you in question. Oba betchimi. No problem, betchimi. Oba betchimi. Now be some say what do I do? I'm catch us a man on main kasa unless my lawyer is here. Oh dear, try because master young kwana wish you alone. That is why the last time I said say, oh Scar, try to educate yourself a little bit, and that's exactly what we are seeing. So case need there a be foolish case. A be fiasem enkusi bibia. And I also know yes say oh you of phone no ahwe wo de boys are muti kronuma mo ye mo niema no Bible no kra ka se de unseni fa ye no mema unsa benkum ehu ena mpenifo se di dada eyesi di preko munja san kwase afronting no in some way by me flu obi na me ne kasa ena nipa nka chem sinana there are people here amuska esi Abuchika omuye san kwase ye bia na omuye deals ye bia obi so asa ka chem say ebra na one issue number obi kan say nkofo okrom ha sa good board no ebi mu ye de na one na emens ebi mu ye de since but mu gusu ye why because all baby bia government will see him as a what as a political threat so munye careful ya to cyber trap and ye blow ska ehunya onya na nka oti because I believe say Abuchika shane ni dem and I said you all drain one nka we nyina in the AC but obi so be explain say omo front na be omo be nya no more deals go frontier obi nya control weka so yimame ni ade that is what someone said on social media but then to me you know we are not endorsing this but then I was say obiaye then very careful
okay but then would share some comments about social media the say the lawyer's defense is lame Trica and Shani be and the lawyer and the Nasem Numum are very serious.
No, lawyer and man Nasem is here. The lawyers are just on course. Much Trica, no problem. Improve listen. Most of your fraud. More far the better say my fraud. Baby, I made me one example. I was there last time. I'm a bank friend. Me say 100K or so be able to my account. Me need to know me freeze my account. Now me say okay, I'll come there. One of my friends saying you said you were coming, crab, but even if you're in the car coming, crab, you are closing your account and taking your money. And I'm catching a guy and say me you be a one school. I told him one thing. Say you freeze the account. I'll milk money from your bank. Miss you milk this car if the bank. Hey, me I'm on touch it. No make my just give him chain. Make sure some journey. Which law and rights do you have to freeze my account, take my money? How about that? Me do bank or pay. Also, Nana, you solve the issue. Open cross, you can have account. I'm saying, when you be man, also it was a misrepresentation. So, come me my boy me home. 100,000 amo enye sika o be 100,000 amo say our account e be chire be BS can if legit me and I'm still banking with the bank. Why? Because I know and I've read it in say bank na catch me say see am I fraud and I say scanner ba beto my account mu no because sika no eso esen kaninti no and omu sisi no problem when sisi me before anything me can sue me sue ma catch us for evidence o see my fraud out and into the sisi my account no fabra wa fan ba na me sum dia check us court sika we new eye omu any drinks any ekoton ye ekoya activation ye nya sa sika we nyina sa 100,000 ne kra ba ye no work sika wom stage sika wom driver sika wom ni breaking it down ni who is the fraud ye we are ni make the bank for compensation sa na TikTok e dey Malcolm or jibe 3 or 4 million Ghana cedi odi free o we no niki di money kwa meje ko bo new enyuma o di twa ho video. So the state has no evidence. Fraud no Abu Trica ye fraud no, where were you? Okay, for evidence ne bra. So what man say? So that is it. Yeah.
Okay. Abusianfo na che Abu Trica issue ne de per the analysis nana edema ye no na it's all evidence say e bedding say Abu Trica ye betimi extradicting say the year. Now you moving consent for so